On the news tonight, federal government says it is working to end open defecation in the country by 2030. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori reaffirms his administration's commitment to advancing the cause of the media in the state. Guinea-Bissau president faces tough re-election bid ahead of Sunday elections. Good evening and welcome to the Delta Television main news. I am Ogaga Ekama. Remember that you can also follow our news by visiting our Facebook or YouTube channels at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba. Visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. The federal government says it is committed to ending open defecation in the country by 2030. Speaking in Abuja at an event to mark the World Toilet Day, Minister of Environment Mr. Balarabe Lawal said the government was working with partners to expand access to safe toilets nationwide. He disclosed that over 45 million Nigerians still defecated in the open, while only a quarter of the population had access to safely managed sanitation. The minister warned that hospitals and public places continue to fuel cholera, diarrhea, typhoid, and other infections, while untreated wastewater was contaminating rivers and worsening environmental hazards. Stakeholders at the event called for climate-resilient sanitation systems and greater investment in hygiene infrastructure. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has inaugurated a cluster of housing units and supporting infrastructure in Okwama Community, Ughelli South local government area, built by the local government. The ceremony marked a major step in the state government's promise to rebuild the community, which was leveled in March last year following the killing of 17 Nigerian Army personnel. Represented by his deputy Samonde Oyeme, the governor said the project signified a moment of renewal for the people, describing it as a transition from pain to restoration. Governor Oborevwori reaffirmed his administration's commitment to restoring communities under the More agenda, urging the Okwama residents to protect the facilities and embrace peace, as the success of the resettlement effort now depended on their collective resolve. Chairman of the Ughelli South local government, Honorable Lucky Awereme, thanked the governor for also providing a primary school, secondary school, and primary health center for the people of Okwama. In an address signed by Mr. Okrika Emmanuel and Comrade Ekemo Victor, the Okwama community expressed gratitude to the governor for coming to their aid after the incident of March 14, 2024. The pledge to support his administration and maintain peace in the area. The project comprises 40 room spaces, 2 blocks containing 20 toilets and bathrooms, a solar-powered water reticulation system, and a paved roofed walkway linking all structures. The State Commissioner for Works, Railroads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Anyagu, has said Governor Sheriff Oborevwori's strict supervision of projects is directly improving the living standards of rural communities across the state. Mr. Anyagu stated this during an inspection of ongoing and completed rural roads projects in Anyocha North and Anyocha South Council areas, explaining that closer monitoring that supports daily movement, trade and community development. He said constant project checks helped government identify areas needing improvement, such as drainage, erosion control, and additional culverts, which are essential for protecting roads and safeguarding communities, adding that the governor's emphasis on quality ensured that public funds translated into real benefits for the people. The commissioner noted that increased budgetary provision and prompt contractor payments would further accelerate rural development, stressing that all efforts, including erosion control and drainage adjustments, were aimed at protecting lives, property, and ensuring long-term comfort for communities across the state. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to advancing the cause of the media in the state. Governor Oborevwori made the affirmation in a keynote address at the Lecture and Awards of the Nigerian Union of Journalists NUJ Delta State Council as part of activities marking the 2025 Press Week of the Union. Violet Monye reports.
Represented by the Commissioner for Works, rural roads and public information, Mr. Charles Aniago, the governor noted that the theme of the event, tax regimes, exchange rate unification, economic implications and media's strategic role, aligned with the government's ongoing reforms aimed at improving basic amenities for Deltans. He emphasized that the administration was committed to ensuring that every revenue collected was deployed towards the development of infrastructure across the state. Governor Oborewori stressed that government was creating an enabling environment to attract investors, while urging media practitioners to shun sensationalism and uphold professionalism in their reportage.
This annual gathering is more than a celebration of journalism. It is a reaffirmation of the media's indispensable role in shaping our democracy, our economy, and indeed our collective future. The media plays a strategic and irreplaceable role in this national transition. You are not passive observers. You are the bridge between policy and the people.
In his remarks, the national president of the NUJ, Comrade Hassan Yahya, represented by the Vice President Zone F, Comrade Okpaka Dokubo, commended the Delta State Council for its efforts at initiating laudable programs for the upliftment of journalists.
Our members have enjoyed a great deal of support. We consider Delta State a home for the NUJ, a home for journalists, and a home indeed for the practice of journalism with dignity and with all the respect that we deserve.
The chairman of the Delta State Council, Comrade Chachi Oyowe, reaffirmed the union's resolve to continue partnering with the government in promoting the MORE agenda.
This annual celebration is not only a time of fellowship and reflection within the media family, but also an opportunity for constructive engagement with a larger society on issues that shape governance, development, and democracy.
The ceremony featured a lecture on the theme, an interactive section and presentation of awards to the state governor and other distinguished personalities and professionals who had contributed to the growth of the media and the development of the society. Violet Monye reporting.
Vice President Kashim Shettima has condemned the abduction of schoolgirls in Maga village, Danko Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State, describing it as a national tragedy. During a visit to Kebbi, Senator Shettima assured parents that the federal government would use every available security resource to rescue the 25 abducted girls, adding that President Bola Tinubu was fully committed to the ongoing operations. He consoled the family of the late Vice Principal, Mr. Hassan Makuku, who died while trying to protect the students, and commended the military, police, Department of State Services, and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps for their efforts. The governor of Kebbi State, Mr. Nasir Idris, thanked the federal government for its quick response and expressed confidence that the girls would be safely returned. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, has condemned the attack on the Christ Apostolic Church, Eriku, in Ekiti local government area of Kwara State, where gunmen killed 3 worshippers and abducted several others during a live-streamed service. Honorable Abbas, in a statement, described the attack as daring and unfortunate, urging security agencies to intensify efforts to protect worship centers and other vulnerable locations. He commended President Bola Tinubu for suspending his planned foreign trip in response to the rising insecurity. The incident has once again drawn national attention to the country's persistent security challenges, with communities across various states facing recurrent violence and kidnappings. The Federal High Court in Abuja has convicted the IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for terrorism after a 10-year trial. Justice James Omotosho, who delivered the ruling today, found him guilty on the main terrorism count and on other charges, including the sit-at-home directives in the southeast. Kanu was removed from the courtroom after disrupting proceedings and challenging the court's jurisdiction. He was first arrested in 2015 and rearrested in Kenya in 2021. His conviction comes months after Biafra Republic government in exile leader Simon Ekpa was jailed in Finland for inciting violence in Nigeria. A violent incident occurred yesterday morning at Agbalusia Ngele Street near His Praise Church Junction in Akwofo Layout, Asaba, where over 30 suspected Hausa youths reportedly stormed the area and began attacking residents. The report.
The group was said to have targeted both men and women, including school children heading out for the day. A POS operator sustained serious injuries after being attacked with a cutlass, while a welder identified as Donatus narrowly escaped harm, allegedly due to the charm installed in his body, popularly known as Odeshi. Sources within the community confirmed that a schoolboy assaulted during the attack has died from his injuries, heightening tension among residents. In response to the security breach, a combined team of soldiers and police officers has been deployed to strategic junctions within the area to restore calm and prevent further violence. The situation is still being monitored as residents remain anxious over the unexpected assaults.
The state government has announced that the December 2025 series of examinations for junior civil servants will be held on Friday, December 5 and Saturday, December 6. The examinations organized by the Directorate of Establishments and Pensions are for various categories of junior staff across the state public service. A statement by the functioning permanent secretary in the Ministry of Information, Mr. Harold Orji, lists the examination centers approved for the exercise as the Staff Training Center, Asaba, and the Hussey College, Warri. The statement says the affected examinations include the limited competitive examination for messengers, cleaners, sub-technical and allied grades, as well as the confirmation and promotion examinations for clerical assistants on salary grade level 3 and clerical officers on salary grade level 4. It says the Friday session is scheduled to commence at 2 p.m., while the Saturday session will begin at 9 a.m. The measles rubella vaccination campaign from January 2026 will take place across the state from the 21st to the 30th. A government statement says the exercise will be conducted in collaboration with the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, and the World Health Organization, WHO, and the Committee on International Nutrition Science, CINS. The statement says the initiative is aimed at protecting children from measles and rubella while improving herd immunity in all communities across the state. Adding that vaccination campaign targets children between 9 months and 14 years. The government advised the residents to take their children and wards to designated health facilities and temporary vaccination posts during the period of the exercise. Still to come on the news, Guinea-Bissau president faces tough re-election bid ahead of Sunday elections. Details of this and more coming up shortly.
It is more than just a home. It is a sanctuary. It is your statement. Introducing Soft Home Interiors, where luxury meets modern living. Imagine sinking into unparalleled comfort, surrounded by the finest materials and exquisite craftsmanship. Soft Home Interiors transforms your space into an oasis of tranquility. With our modern royal sitters, Turkey and Arabian chairs with tables, beautiful unique dining sets, all types of breathtaking interior pieces. And that's not all. We also offer you interior designing consultations as we are ready to serve you in any way you want. From the subtle details to the grandest gestures, Soft Home Interiors elevates every corner of your home. Give us a chance to bet your dream home. For sales and consultations, visit us at Our head office located at Asaba Lagos Expressway beside Apam's Funeral Undertakers opposite Ekemas Oil Nigeria Limited, Asaba. You can call us on 0803 672 9662 or 0708 943 8130. Follow us on Instagram at Soft Home Interiors. Catch all our latest designs on TikTok at Soft Home Interiors. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at Soft Home Interiors to discover the art of modern living. Soft Home Interiors, modern luxury redefined.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us on the news. The global scene is next as we join our world news desk.
Incumbent Umaru Sissoco Embalo faces surprisingly strong competition in Guinea-Bissau's presidential election on Sunday, a contest of voting against the backdrop of a booming cocaine trade and a deeply polarized political climate. His main challenger is Fernando Dias, 47, of the Party for Social Renewal, PROS, who has drawn large crowds while promising to promote security and reconciliation and prevent soldiers in the coup-prone West African nation from interfering in politics. Though there are 12 candidates in the running, the race comes down to ex-Army General Embalo, 53, and Dias, who has a strong chance of succeeding. Whoever wins will have a huge task trying to turn the page on Guinea-Bissau's long history of political instability and failed efforts to improve basic services and diversify an economy hugely dependent on cashew production. Provisional results are expected to be announced within 48 hours. Dias has drawn support from former Prime Minister Domingos Somio Pereira, who lost to Embalo in a close and contested runoff in 2019. Pereira was widely seen as Embalo's top challenger this year before being disqualified after authorities said he filed his papers late. Pereira's absence makes this election the first without a candidate from the Africa Party for the Independence of Guinea and Cape Verde, PAIGC, which led the nationalist movement for independence from Portugal. If neither Embalo nor Dias earns more than 50% of the vote, the other candidates could prove important and decisive in a runoff. In 2019, former President Jose Mario Vaz, who is also running this year, backed Embalo after losing in the first round, giving Embalo a boost in the runoff against Pereira. Tunisian journalists protested today near government offices, demanding an end to restrictions on reporters and the release of jailed colleagues, and vowing that the widening crackdown will not silence them. The protests confirmed growing fears of unprecedented threats to free speech since Kais Saied seized power in 2021. Hundreds of reporters waved press cards, chanting journalism is not a crime and freedom for Tunisian media. Free speech has flourished following the 2011 uprising that toppled autocrat Zine El Abidine Ben Ali as part of the Arab Spring, and President Said has denied targeting press freedom. Critics, however, says his 2021 power grab and subsequent decrees have dismantled democratic safeguards and allowed authorities to pursue journalists for committing offenses which are not clear-cut. The Tunisian Journalist Syndicate, SNJT, said the escalating pressure was aimed at silencing strong free voices and subjugating the media. At least 5 journalists are in prison, while others face judicial investigations over social media posts or critical reporting. Tunisian authorities last month suspended the Nawat Journalist Group, which runs one of the country's leading independent investigative media outlets.
No fewer than 2,000 persons have benefited from a free medical outreach organized by the Anyotron North local government in collaboration with the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, and the Shell Nigeria Exploration and Production Company, SNEPCO. The program held at the Primary Health Center, Iseluku, provided vital healthcare services to residents across the local government area. Henry Nogwa reports.
Flagging off the 5-day medical outreach, the Aniota North Council Chairman, Honorable Emmanuel Chinye, said the initiative executed under Delta Vision First Plus reflected his commitment to attracting private sector support for development in the area. He commended NNPC, SNEPCO, and their partners for their contribution to the health and well-being of the people, urging beneficiaries to make proper use of the services offered.
People are actually benefiting immensely from it. Some of them that have already gone to hospitals for those type of treatment, most especially cataract treatment and other illnesses. And because of finance, we were not able to do it. Today, we can hear testimony from them. They have done it and it is free of charge.
The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joseph Onojame, represented by Dr. Gloria Mok, expressed satisfaction with the turnout and outcome of the program. She noted that restoring sight and improving the general health of citizens would enhance their contribution to economic growth and development.
Sight and the vision of a lot of deltas, particularly those of Aniota North, is being restored. And we know that when their vision is restored, economy begins to increase.
Also speaking, the traditional ruler of Iseluku, Abogidindoka, lauded NNPC, SNEPCO, and the council chairman for bringing the Delta Vision First Plus to his kingdom and urged medical professionals involved in the outreach to provide the highest standard of care.
All I can do is to encourage the medical professionals and pray to God Almighty to give them strength to effectively attend to our people. NNPC and SNEPCO will be more than happy to welcome you again for this laudable initiative.
Other speakers, including the asset manager, SNEPCO, Mrs. Bolanle Odunayojo, and the executive director, Comag Eyesight Foundation, Professor Olukorede Adenuga, described the 5th edition of the Community Support Eye Program as a testament to what stakeholders could achieve when they work together to improve lives, reaffirmed their commitment to restoring sight and protecting the dignity of every beneficiary.
Through free eye screening, treatment, and surgery, we are working to restore sight, renew hope, and reaffirm our commitment to the health and dignity of every individual.
5 days, we intend to screen about 3,000 people, at least 3,000 people, carry out about 2,000 surgeries, and then dispense about 1,000 reading glasses.
Some beneficiaries expressed delight with the services received, noting that many of the treatment provided at the outreach were either inaccessible or unaffordable in other health facilities, appealing that the program be sustained.
Give me some drugs for my challenges and every other thing. So I'm using this opportunity to say thank you to our chairman, Ima Chiu.
You know, formally I do hear kata. I don't know that there is something called cataract.
As me, they tell you now, say, this morning when they won't clean my eye, it's sure to be like another mirror. God put for my eye.
The free medical outreach featured a wide range of services, including eye care, screening and consultation, cataract and reading glasses distribution, health education, cardiovascular checks, general consultation, and treatment of minor ailments. Henry Onogwa reporting.
In business, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has warned that several Blendyne infant cereals banned in Chad for containing aflatoxin B1 and cancer-causing toxin are already circulating in Nigeria, especially in border communities. The affected products include Blendyne biscuit, biscuit and lay, meal and lay, and banana and lay. The expiry dates from September 2026 to March, with expiry dates from September 2026 to March 2027. NAFDAC has ordered market surveillance and urged caregivers and retailers to verify all infant cereals. The agency asked the public to report any adverse reactions through its offices, online platforms, or the Med Safety app as it intensifies wider action against unsafe products. The Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has warned the public against the Zuda Microfinance Bank Limited, saying it is an unlicensed entity operating illegally in the country. The CBN, in a statement by its acting director of corporate communications, Hakama Ali, said the Zuda Microfinance Bank had no regulatory approval to conduct banking activities, thus breaching the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act of 2020, which requires all banking businesses in Nigeria to hold a valid CBN license. The Apex Bank urged Nigerians to ignore any licensing claims by the bank and avoid transactions with it, warning that dealings with unlicensed operators carried significant risks. A novelty match held yesterday between the Nigerian Medical Association (NMA) and the Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ) as part of activities to mark this year's NUJ Press Week. The game, which was played at the NTA Asaba Sports Complex, saw the Medical Syringes Football Club, representing the NMA Asaba zone, kicking off the game in a fiery fashion as they boomed forward, seeking to score early goals. Jude Agbayeke reports.
Their forays paid off in the 12th minute after Dr. Leon's cross was headed home for the curtain raiser. The goal spurred on the Image Makers Football Club, representing the NUJ, into action as they pushed back, seeking an equalizer, but their effort was thwarted by the solid defense line of the Medical Syringes Football Club. The NUJ team, however, drew level in the last minute of the game after a shot by Isioma Agbayeke was pried into the pass of Emmanuel Omar, who wasted no time before slamming the ball into an empty net, the last goal of the game. The chairman of the Delta State NUJ, Comrade Churchill Oyowe, and the chairman of the NMA Asaba Zone, Dr. Anthony Osai, said the initiative was a welcome development as it would help to enhance the relationship between both bodies while also creating an avenue for better living, as bodily exercise was key to reducing the recent sudden death occurrences in the society.
This is an annual gathering that we consider to be like a Christmas, where journalists will come and review how they are fared in the outgoing year and look forward to how they can improve their offerings to society.
Just like doctors, journalists are almost everywhere. They go around, walk around the club, they don't have time to rest, they don't have time to even take care of their body as well. So if we can be having this opportunity to interact, where we do carry out all these medical check, routine check amongst ourselves, it will go a long way in actually ensuring that we have a steady state of health.
Present was the Executive Assistant to the Governor on Health Monitoring, Dr. Obi Awuna. Jude Agbayeke reporting.
Next is the thought for the day. Positive thinking will let you do everything better than negative thinking. To end the news, here again are the main points. The federal government says it is committed to ending open defecation in the country by 2030. Speaking in Abuja at an event to mark the World Toilet Day, Minister of Environment Mr. Balarabe Lawal said the government was working with partners to expand access to safe toilets nationwide. Governor Sheriff Oberwari has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to advancing the cause of the media in the state. Governor Oberwari made the affirmation in a keynote address at the Lecture and Awards of the Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ) Delta State Council as part of activities marking the 2025 Press Week of the Union. And abroad, Guinea-Bissau president faces tough re-election bid ahead of Sunday elections. That's the news. Remember, you can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or visit our website www.dbsasaba.com. Many thanks for watching. I am Ogaga Ikama. Good evening.